Good morning, friends. Today's poem is The Village Schoolmaster. It is written by Oliver Goldsmith. Let us come to know about the poet who was born in Longfield and was educated at Trinity College, Dublin. He was awarded the degree of Doctor of Medicine, but he never practiced as doctor. Friends, Oliver Goldsmith was a doctor by profession. He was a physician by profession, but he never practiced. His major works are The Traveller, Vicar of Wakefield, The Deserted Village, and The She Stoops to Conquer. Friends, and the present poem is taken from The Deserted Village. This is taken from The Deserted Village. The word is read as village, not village. And this is dedicated to, it is said that this poem is dedicated to his teacher. What is the name of his teacher? It is dedicated to one of his famous teachers, that is Thomas Byron. Thomas Byron, I will write here. Thomas Byron. It is said that Thomas Byron was his favorite teacher, and this poem is dedicated to Thomas Byron, or you can say this poem is a description of his teacher, character sketch of his teacher. If I ask you, who do you like as a teacher, or who is your favorite teacher? So, or what qualities do you like in a teacher? Friends, this poem is set in a rural area, in a village. The title itself tells us about the rural setup. And this is a very old poem. It happened very old, right? This tells about the typical teachers that existed in the some centuries back. Children, if I tell you to recall how your teachers taught you, because now you are away from your teachers, I'm sure you are definitely missing your teachers, isn't it? So, if I ask you what qualities that make a particular teacher a good teacher or an ideal teacher, so probably if I keep listing them, before I keep listing the qualities, let us see what qualities that made Thomas Byron his famous teacher. There are some qualities. When you read the poem, you will come to know about the qualities. Let me first read the poem for you aloud. Beside yon straggling fanes that skirts the bay, with blossom firs unprofitably gay, there, in his mansion, skilled to rule, the village master taught his little school. A man severe he was, and stern to will. I knew him well, and every traunt knew. Well had the boding tremblers learned to trace the day's disasters in his morning face. See the rhyming words. Full well they laughed with counterfeited glee. At all his jokes, for many a joke had he. Full well the breezy whispers circling round conveyed the dismal tidings when we frowned. I have taken only half poem. This is day 1. This is day 1. I have taken half poem for you. Oliver Goldsmith's language is very, it's little vague, it's little difficult to understand, but the meaning is so beautiful. So let us discuss the poem. It's a wonderful poem, I told you. It gives the complete characteristic of Thomas Byron, Oliver Goldsmith's teacher. When Oliver Goldsmith was a boy, he was a small boy, he had a teacher named Thomas Byron, and this all poem is nothing but description of Thomas Byron as a teacher. His all characteristics, traits. Beside yon strangling face, beside yon strangling face, beside over there, strangling means irregular. In the first stanza, the poet is describing the school. I will tell you in short, before I describe the poem, I want to tell you that this poem tells about a very strict teacher named Thomas Byron and how strict he was. The children were trembling when he was there in the class. He was ruling the small school in a village. It was there in his own house. Actually, there was not a special building for it. It's a very old story when there were no schools probably. And teacher was calling the students at his house and he was teaching. So the teacher was very strict, but he was kind as well. He was tremendously knowledgeable person. He knew everything. He knew about debating. He knew about measurements. He was even foretelling, right? And this is all about the teacher's characteristics. Let us see. Beside yon strangling fence that skirts the way. That skirts the way means that is going around the way. Goes round the way. Right? With blossomed furze, with blossomed grass, unprofitably gay. Gay means very happy, cheerful. Unprofitably, the poet has used the word profitably and unprofitably. Actually, this school is situated in a rural area where the teacher was living in a big house, isn't it? And it was beside an irregular fence is there. You know fence is there for a house. You all know very well. There is a fence. The house is having a fence. Isn't it? And this is not the regular fence. It is made of the grass or it is made of the trees. With blossom furze, unprofitably gay. Actually, the flowers are they are giving a very beautiful smell, pleasant smell. But it is unprofitable means nobody is taking care of nobody is taking profit from it. The poet has deliberately, purposely used the word unprofitable. It means that though the grass is giving a pleasant smell, it is not noticed by any student. Children, you understand. Students are hardly bothered about the atmosphere, or they go to school and study. Many times they do not see what's happening around them. Here also students are not bothered about the atmosphere. Students are not bothered about where the school is located. They are bothered about learning. They are bothered about education. So here, there is mansion, skilled to rule. The village master taught his little school. If you see in the poem, in every stanza there are rhyming words. Rule rhymes with school. Way rhymes with gay. After the completion of the poem, you will pick out the rhyming words. Bear in mind, you will write out all the rhyming words. Okay. Then, there in his mansion. The mansion word actually is used for king's palace or a very large house. Children, the house must be a very large where the teacher used to live. And the house is not only his house, but it is also a school building. I told you that's a very old story when there were probably no schools. So the teacher was teaching in his own house and he was skilled to rule. He was a master trainer, you can say. He was a skillful in ruling the students, or not only the students, he was ruling the entire village. You can say that the teacher was a king for the village. He was the king because teachers were respected a lot. Now also they are respected. But if you consider the olden period, the teachers were respected like a king in the village or in the town. I hope you understood this. Where was the teacher living? The teacher was living in a large house. Or you can say a large, I can't say bungalow because it's a very old story. He was living in a large house which was there on quite away from the village probably. And there the students used to come and they were not noticing the blossom. Blossom means your flowers. Okay. They were not noticing the beautiful smell of the grass. The village master, the village school, right? Village school means the village master, the school teacher. Master means school teacher. Taught his little school. The school was little because very few students were coming to the school. It was only one house. So the school was very small. A man severe he was and stern to view. Severe and stern both are same. Strict. The teacher was very strict. If you look at him, the children will be afraid of him. Right? You just imagine the typical teacher in the olden times. Now teachers are dressed. You can see the teachers are having the casual, formal dresses. We are very formal dresses style. In olden time, the teachers probably with a long mustache and dhoti and kurta. You can see pagadi also. Turban you can say in English. A man severe he was and stern to will. I knew him well, and every truant knew. Truant means the children who were bunking the classes. The children who were bunking classes without permission or who were remaining away from the school without permission. There are students, at least in every school, you will find just a couple of students who are truants. Truant means they are not coming to school without permission, isn't it? So the poet Oliver Goldsmith says that since he has faced Thomas Byron, he has studied under him, he knows the teacher is very strict, and not only he, all other children also know, especially those who are keeping away from school, maybe because of the fear of the teacher. Everyone knows about the teacher's strictness. His rules were very strict. He was a great disciplinarian, what we call disciplinarian. Well had the boarding tremblers learned to trace the day's disaster in his morning face. Day's disaster means troubles. Actually, the word disaster means earthquake, tsunami. But the boarding tremblers means whose bodies are shaking. Children, they have learned to trace, they have learned to understand. Children, those who are studying under the teacher for years, they have come to know about the teacher's facial expressions. It is quite easy. When you look at the teacher, you will understand whether the teacher is in a good mood or he is in a angry mood. So the students also are mastered in understanding, in recognizing or identifying the teacher's mood. They can see the teacher and they can tell the morning disasters, or they can tell the disasters that are coming throughout the day. They can tell what's going to happen on that particular day. When the teacher comes in the morning, they will see the face of the teacher and they will tell, oh, today's day would be good or it would be sad for them. If teacher is angry, obviously the day would be not good for the students because he will punish them or he will give them more assignments. The children will see the teacher's morning face and they will predict, you know the word predict, they will foretell. Predict means they will foretell. You all know that there are people who will tell about your future. You go and pay money and you want to know what's going to happen in my future. So the children will predict what day will be there for them, whether good or bad day. Full well they laughed with counterfeited gay. Counterfeited means it is not actually, it is a pretended joy. Pretended joy. It is not a real joy. Children, teacher is not only strict but he is also joyful. What qualities are there of the teacher? He is also joyful. He is strict. Let us see what are the qualities of the teacher. Though the children know that the teacher is very strict, still they have to laugh when the teacher cracks a joke. Right? Glee means happiness. Glee means joy. Counterfeited means it is not a real one, opposite of a real one. It's not genuine. And all his jokes, for many a joke he had. Many a joke he had means he had many jokes to tell his students. And the students also enjoyed his jokes, even though they did not like the jokes. They had to laugh, because if they don't laugh, they had to face the teacher's anger. Right? So, children, see what is this scenario, or what is the situation. What was the atmosphere in the school? The teacher was strict, but the teacher was a very joyful teacher. He was even cracking jokes sometimes. Full well the busy whisper circling round conveyed the dismal tidings when he frowned. When he frowned, when he is frowning, you know that when the teacher is frowning. Facial expression. Frowning means it is showing anger. Show anger through your expressions. Frowning. Right? Friends, let me again elaborate this and tell you. Full well the busy whisper. The whisper means gossip, discussion. There would be, when the teacher is angry, when the teacher is frowning, and if one student comes to know about it, he will tell to all class that today teacher's mood is not good, so we should take care of his anger, or we should take proper precautions not to irritate the teacher, not to make him angry. Friends, full well the busy whisper. The children will circle the whisper, that whisper or that rumor, not rumor. That news will be spread in the class that teacher is frowning, because dismal is very sad. Tidings means his expressions when he frowned. That will be conveyed in the entire class. Conveyed means that will be passed. That will be passed through. That will be spread to the entire class when the teacher is angry. Let me again elaborate this for you. What did you know about Thomas Byron, Oliver Goldsmith's teacher? Right? The teacher's qualities, I mentioned that first quality is he was very strict teacher. Right? The second quality, he was very kind-hearted as well, my dear friends, because he had lot of jokes for his students, because he knew that his children love jokes. And also there was one more thing that the children noticed, that whenever he was frowning at them, he was making such a gesture, the children would really tremble with fear, and they will spread the news to the other students that teacher is not in good mood. This is all about the half part of the poem, Day 1. I hope you understood the stanza-wise meaning of this poem. And in the next session, we will discuss more about the teacher's qualities and his characteristic. For time being, you write one homework. You write the character sketch of your favorite teacher. Write all the qualities that you like in your teacher, your favorite teacher. At least 10 lines everyone write and post it on your group. I am taking leave of you. Wish you all the best. Have a good day.